I have a question for you. Have you ever dealt with racism? Did you ever try to stop it? Here's another. Am I black, white, or biracial? Or am I American? Well, most of my mom and dad's background is from America, so that would make me American as well. My dad, his parents, and his grandmother are all from Chicago, Illinois. My mom is from Ohio, and some of her past ancestors are from Ireland and Scotland. America has changed over many, many years with racial issues. Here's some evidence to show how racial issues have changed over years. Segregation started in 1954 when the blacks and whites would have different belongings depending on if you were white or black. For example, the white folks were in their own school that was much cleaner and much nicer than the black folks' schools. The white schools would have more teaching supplies, so that would lead to having a better education. The black schools wouldn't have all the teaching supplies that the whites used in school, so that would lead to not having an as good education. Also, people who are black and whites wouldn't be able to drink from the same drinking fountain or even be next to each other while drinking the water. In my opinion, that shouldn't even have been a law. One last example I have is that white people had nicer and better restrooms than black people. Black people had to use outhouses that were old and wooden. There are definitely more than just 3 issues, but those are my examples. Also, there are 12 southern states that had racial problems, which is insane. When Martin Luther King Jr. announced his famous "I Have a Dream" speech at the Lincoln Memorial on August 28th in 1963, he wanted racism to stop so then people who are black would have their freedom of anything. And he wanted us to come together and make a better community than what they had in the past. Even after all those years that have gone by, people are still very racist. My connection with racism is my own race. I'm not just one skin color like others. I'm a mix between blacks and whites. Sometimes at school, people would ask me, "Are you white?" But I would always say, "I'm half and half." Even then, they wouldn't believe me. That would only bother me if I let it bother me, though. I don't remember. I just want America to come together and make a better community than what they had in the past. Also, I want people to be kinder to one another, no matter what race or races you are. I have a question. Raise your hand if you're mixed in the audience. Cool. All right, so I hope everyone comes together and makes a better community than what they had in the past, or if they had racial issues. I hope you can tell those people who were being mean to you, I hope you tell them to look up how to stop racism. Also, I want you to tell others how racism should not belong in the United States. Let's work together. We are America.